What's up, everybody? This is Justin. My channel is Short and Khaki Productions right now. I'm still tossing around a name, but that's what it is right now. I'm at that point in my life where I'm trying to make moves, be self-employed, financially independent, whatever you want to call it, okay? But the thing is, you're going to have to take a job, unless you're born into money or unless you get a big windfall, win the lottery, inheritance, something, you're gonna have to get a job. All right, if you want to pay your bills, if you want to have the things you want, whatever, you're gonna need to get a job. I know it sucks, but we got to do it. That's the world we live in. Obviously, you want to try to find a job that you're going to be happy at. It's not always about money. You might get a great paying job, but you're not happy. So you got to kind of balance that there. What's more important to you, the money or the happiness? If you can find an equal balance, great, but sometimes that's just not feasible. So stay in school, try to plan ahead. If you're not going to go to college, I know college isn't for everybody. Try to have some plan B. You don't want to have to rely on anybody. Like, I don't like relying on other people. I want to make sure I can handle stuff myself. So just keep that in mind. The whole point of this, me telling you this, is because I want to get into some financial stuff here. I can't stress enough the importance, especially to you younger people, the importance of A, saving money, B, building your credit, and C, living within your means. Okay. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really would help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel. Got a whole bunch of interesting videos. I do all sorts of stuff. So saving money, obviously, is very important. Just start saving. I know you got things, especially when you're younger, you got things you want to do, just blowing money foolishly, but start saving money as soon as you can. It's very important. I'm pretty sure you can open a bank account before you're 18 years old. You might just need your parents' signature. If not, stash your money away and try to forget about it. Building your credit. Building your credit is very important. Very important, because having decent credit opens up all sorts of doors for you. You'll be able to walk in and buy a car. You'll be able to walk in and finance any home improvement or any piece of equipment or appliance that you want to buy. If you want to buy motorcycles or four-wheelers or whatever it is, you need to have good credit, because then with good credit, it doesn't matter if you have the cash right then. You can go in and buy it. Buy now, pay later. But that's another thing with credit, though. Keep in mind that you're always going to pay extra interest. I'm going to break all that down in different videos, different APRs, percentage rates, stuff like that. But right now, just the basics. Like I said, and this one's very important, is living within your means. What does that mean? Let's say you're bringing home $500 a week, okay? So you're making $500 a week, give or take, whatever, before taxes. Now, also on that note, you have to factor in, is it a 4-week month or a 5-week month? Always do your budgeting on a 4-week month, because then when you have a 5-week month, you have that extra paycheck, so that's always good. Keep a little cushion, little breathing room there. Your $500 paycheck, right? Now, it may be less, it may be more, but I'm just throwing out a number. So let's just say, base that on a four-week month, you got $2,000, right? Let's say your rent, you're with roommates, your rent's only $400, or maybe you got your own place and it's $800, $900, or even more realistically these days, you're looking at $1,000 plus payment. It doesn't matter if it's rent or mortgage, either one. Let's just say your housing bill, okay? So you're bringing home $2,000 a month, and you might be roommate with your buddy, or you and your girlfriend are splitting bills or whatever, but you have $1,000 a month rent or mortgage. So that's $500 on your part. Split that in half, right? Okay, so that's $500 from your $2,000 4-week monthly budget. So you're down to $1,500. Okay, now obviously you've got electricity, you've got your cell phones, you've got your internet bill, you might have water, You know, it depends. If you own your own home, you're going to have lawn, you're going to have pest control, you might have to worry about garbage, all that. You know, a lot of that stuff's included when you rent somewhere. So, you know, let's say all your utilities and extras and all that might be another $500 a month. Okay, maybe, you know, give or take. This is where you got to do your own budget. So that brings you down to $1,000 a month left. Now you might be like, oh well, you know, I got all this extra money. I'm gonna go out and buy or finance a brand new vehicle. Well, okay. See, now this is where you have to live within your means, because that brand new vehicle may cost you $700 a month. And yeah, you got a hot new whip, brand new, but is it really within your means? That 700, now your gas, you gotta consider gas. It might cost you $50 a week, a tank of gas, or maybe more, maybe 100 a week, depending on how much driving you do. You know, so right there, at $50 a week, that's another $200 a month. So now you got the $700 car payment, $200 a month in gas. That's $900. That only leaves you $100 breathing room. Now you still got your groceries, you got your car insurance. Now you're tight. You're cash poor. Now all your money's going to bills, right? So instead of going out and buying that brand new 2022 whatever the hell for $700 a month payment, buy something used. You know, status is not everything. But I tell you what, being comfortable and being financially secure and the peace of mind, that's a lot more important than status. When you have a 5 week month, you have that extra paycheck. You know, and then when you have that breathing room, you have the peace of mind, the financial independence and stability that you can go out and buy other things when they come up. You know, you can buy your favorite whatever, or you can take your girl out to a nice dinner once or twice a week, you know, or whatever it might be. Like I said, this is only the basic. This is part one of this, probably be a video series or whatever. You know, I got all this random stuff going on, but these are things that I want to share, you know, because I feel like a lot of people need to learn this. So anyway, subscribe, thumbs up, you know, check back, Short and Cocky Productions, and see y'all again soon.